Hello crafty friends, it's Louise and welcome back to my channel. Now I have been away for a little bit and that's because I've had a wonderful holiday off in Morocco and now it's time to get back into crafting. So today we're going to make a couple of cards and we're going to use vellum and acetate. So we're going to use the traditional wreath 3D embossing folder, delicate pines, we'll use the stamp sets and these sprig dies here. I'm going to use one of these stylish shapes. These are, yep, that one there. And we're going to bring in the Jolly Holly for the Merry Christmas for my sentiment. So we'll start with a piece of basic white cardstock measuring 11 inches by 4 1/4, and we'll score in half at 5 1/2, and this is going to be a top folding card. Next we're going to bring in a piece of vellum and I've cut it at 7 1/2 by 4 1/4 and we're going to score at 5 1/2. Bring in the embossing machine. Want your base plate for this Stampin' Up machine, the number 1 and the number 4. So I'm going to center this so that that hole in the center is in the center of my piece. And I'm going to run that through. Now you will have to have a look at your machine and whether you're going to use a 2D or a 3D embossing folder to work out the sandwich that you require. So I've just scored on this side of the score line. Okay. Now I've got a piece of white willow here that measures 5 1/2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And this is going to go there and the vellum will overlap that and that will sit there, and then I'll attach it to the card base. So we need some score tape. Any strong adhesive will do. And put that up against the score line. And fold that flat. Okay, So that's the look that I'm going for, and we're going to do our embellishing and sentiment here in the center. Now if you do have a little bit left over, so eventually what I'm going to do, actually I can do that now, put it onto our card base. And then we're going to pop that onto our card base. So these are the sprigs cut out of sea foam glitter paper. It comes from the Peaceful Garden, and it has 3 different colours in that glitter paper. It has a blue. I should bring that in. It's not right next to me at the moment, but I'll get it. So this is what we're going to look for, and we're going to stack them up there. Going to use glue dots. I like to use glue dots for glitter paper. And I think I'll start going acrosswise in the centre. Move it across a bit, just so it's even on both sides. And stack them. I'm going to do a cross there. And that one's going across there. Okay. Then we're going to stamp our snowflake in shaded spruce. Just gently tap, press to let the ink soak in. And while we're here, we'll do our sentiment while we've got the ink open. It's a little bit crooked there. I better line that up again before I do that. Let's have another go. If it doesn't work this time, I'm going to get all inky if I keep touching that, so I want to clean it off and try again. So I'll pause here, cut these out, stamp again, and I'll be back. So I've got that straighter. We're going to pop this in the center. I might have the pointy bit at the top there like that. So we'll get some foam, some dimensionals, and need a bit over here. just center it there. Now we're going to bring in these small ones, and we're just going to pop those 3 down like so, and glue dots again. I love how delicate these are, and even though we don't have snow in Australia, I just felt that because they were more like pine sprigs, you know, rather than snowflakes, I really liked the look of them. So I've used them a lot for scrapbooking and card making this year. So you are building up a bit of height in the center there. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals on either side, and that will be enough to hold our sentiment there. And that's just going to go across the center. Here we go. And I'm going to use these. I'm not sure if these are still available. Basic Grey and Smoky Slate Pearls. I'll list everything below that is still available. I had a look at some glitter gems, but I thought they clashed a little bit with the glitter paper, and I wanted the glitter paper to stand out. Now, if you don't want this flapping, then what you can do, now we've covered the center in, I'll just pop some glue in the center there and hold that down while it and then it's not flapping around. That's completely your choice. I'll have a closer look at that embossing folder, and I really like the simplicity of the colours I've used in this as well. Okay, so let's move on to use some acetate. So we're going to have the same basic white cardstock scored in half. Top folding card again. Acetate is going to measure 7.5, and I'm going to score at 5.5. Okay, and I'm going to, might need to do that one more time because that was just a bit hard to see. There we go. Now I've chosen a paper from the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper, and it's got beautiful gold foil on that, and we're going to do the same thing. So we will get our embossing machine, pop it in our folder like that. And run it through. I've got bits of tape stuck to me everywhere. Okay, see if you can see it better on the grey plate. And it will need a bit more of a score there. Okay. And that's going to slide in there. Okay. Score tape. You can use red line tape. Just something strong. Finish it in. This take your pick tool is fabulous for getting score tape or backings off everything. So line it up to the score line and fold it down. Okay. Then I'm just going to put that directly to the card base. There it is. And how are you all going with your Christmas cards this year? This is the 30th of November in Australia. And I'm not doing too bad. I just now need to write them and get them sent out. So I've done a lot of creating. Now it's time to post them out. You could use your scoring board to line this up. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's not terribly straight. I think because of the background. And I don't think I'm going to be able to move that off there. But that's okay. That's pretty good. So now I've cut the pieces I wanted to. So I've done some gold heat embossing for my sentiment. And I've got these sprigs. Now I'll show you where they came from. This is from the Christmas Greenery. And it's this sprig here. And I cut out a couple of holly leaves and some berries as well. And the traditional labels is where I got the Season's Greetings, and it comes with all these great banner shapes for your sentiments. I've used both of these a lot this season. So this is going to go here along here. So what I'm going to do is just chop a bit off there like that. And then that's going to go the other way. And because this is so slippery, I think I will build this here like that. So get my glue and just pop a bit there. I'm going to have glue all over my surface. Yep. And that's going to go the opposite way and come out there, down the bottom. Okay, need my tweezers. So I'm going to pop these holly here. In that corner. And then we'll pop a bit of glue on our berries. Now this red glitter paper is from my stash. And I like the way these dies are designed so that you can cut 3 out at once. Really saves you time. Okay. Yep, bit of glue there. So then it's much easier, because this is a very slick surface, to build it off to the side. And we don't want it going over the edge too much, so it's just going to have to come over just a tad. So we'll put some dimensionals and pop it up. How much do you all love using embossing folder? It's one of my favourite tools in crafting, whether that's card making or scrapbooking. Love it for everything. Okay, and we're just going to centre that like that. I'll use a bit of tape runner. And pop that down. And there we have our finished card. Something a little bit different. Now, if this happens to you, you can just trim a bit of that white off. So I'll bring this other one back in. So there's our acetate card and the vellum. Hope you've enjoyed these techniques today, and welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're new to watching me today and you like what you see, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.